Welcome to the Dream Life is Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Hanna Hermanson. I know it might seem cheesy or cliche, but if you've got a sleeping giant inside of you, or you just feel like you're made for more, then there's no coincidence you landed here on the Dream Life is Real Life podcast. Listen, as a girl from small town Wisconsin who decided to go all in to her dream life vision, I know how crazy it can feel to chase after wild ideas. Since leaving my 9-to-5 job in academics back in 2015 to becoming a yoga teacher, a life coach, and now a digital nomad, currently living in Merida, Mexico with my husband and Labradoodle, I know that all the cheesy cliches are true. I've watched a lot of my dream life become my real life right in front of my eyes. Oh, and I've learned a whole lot about sales, business, and marketing along the way, and I want to share all of that with you. So here, you can consider me your friend and mentor. As a certified business coach, success trainer, international speaker, author, and copywriter, I've helped hundreds of coaches and entrepreneurs build, scale, and enjoy their online businesses. So here on the show, you'll find the real people, concrete tactics, and weekly motivation and inspiration to make your dream life your real life. I'm going to let you into the nooks and crannies of these dream lives and dream businesses and offer lots of real talk along the way. Because to be a true leader in whatever you're endeavoring in your life and to create a legacy that you're proud of, you need a tribe lifting you up with you on the journey. And I've made it my mission to be that partner with you. Because after all, we are all in this together. By the way, if you'd like some help improving your business and life, then we just might be able to help. Head on over to dreamlifeisreallife.com to learn more about what we do and how I might be able to personally support you and just continue this conversation in making your dream life your real life. All right, let's get to it. Hello, everyone. Today we have a delightful guest. We are with Nancy Pickard. Nancy is a certified integrative coach through the Ford Institute for Transformational Training and the Levin Life Coaching Academy. She's certified as a breakthrough shadow coach, empowered parent coach, courage coach, healing your heart coach, leadership coach, holistic lifestyle coach, and bigger, better, braver coaching. She is the author of the international bestseller, Bigger, Better, Braver, Conquer Your Fears, Embrace Your Courage, Transform Your Life. Prior to all this great work as a coach, she owned and operated a personal training gym called Tight Ends Inc. She knows what it takes to help people achieve big goals. She holds multiple personal training certifications and is focused on health and wellness for almost 20 years. Her path towards coaching was a natural evolution, as she has a BS in psychology and an MS in education. She lives by her example. For example, in 2017, she traveled alone in Thailand and Vietnam and undertook her biggest challenge, Kilimanjaro, at the age of 61. Coaching others to step out of their own fear and into bigger versions of themselves is her passion. And she's here today to talk to us a little bit about that. So thanks for being here, Nancy.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the whole long bio.
Well, my goodness, you have been busy and you know, so many certifications. I think as coaches or entrepreneurs, that passion for lifelong learning is just part of the person, part of the type of person that endeavors into this work. And I'd love to know how it all started for you. You know, if you are a lifelong learner and when you decided, you know, coaching, transformation, and helping others is what you're here to do.
Well, I used to own a gym, as you said. And so I was into wellness and fitness. So it was really helping people from the outside, right? More the outside than the inside. And I had that gym for 16 years. And then when my marriage fell apart, I sold the home and I moved and I stopped working for a while. And my marriage breaking up devastated me. I did not have the tools I have today, and I was not prepared. I was the victim in my story for a very long time. And it wasn't until many years later that I actually started to realize that I was not utilizing my gifts. I had more gifts to give, And I read a book called Healing Your Heart. Well, actually, it's called Spiritual Divorce by Debbie Ford. And I decided right then and there, I was going to get myself a coach. I was going to get out of my victimhood. I was going to move on from that. And that I was going to become a Healing Your Heart coach, which is what started me on this whole avenue. And yes, I'm always trying to learn and always want more. And every single certification that I get just sort of makes more tools in my toolbox.
Totally.
You know? Healing your heart. So whatever somebody comes to me for, I have like a different set of tools for that particular situation.
Yeah. And so often as business owners, that's where we look for our inspiration is in our own story, right? And I love hearing you taking that heartbreak and that divorce and turning it into your opportunity. And I think that more and more people, especially that I hang out with, right? Coaches, business owners, really look for the message in their mess. And I'm curious what that actually looked like for you. If it was one day you woke up and you decided, I'm manifesting a coach, or if you bumped into the right person, or what that decision to transform yourself actually looked like. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do, actually. So many years after I was divorced, I was dating and with all these, different people. I got engaged and I was with somebody else for 6 years. And then that fell apart. So when that fell apart, I finally said, okay, it can't just be the men. And if it is the men, there's a reason I'm picking them. There's got to be lessons here that I'm not learning. I don't want to be here again. Like twice heartbreak like that was enough. I don't want to be here again. So that was really the impetus to move on and to really say, you got to work on you. There's something here. I mean, I have clients all the time and they'll be like, I'm not speaking to this person. And then this happened and then this happened. And they don't realize that the only thing that's in all of those stories is them, so they're the denominator, and so that's what happened to me. I finally was able to say, okay, I got to work on me. And that's where that started it. And so when I first went into coaching, I went in already knowing that I wanted to get back to work. I wanted to give back to the world. And I was going to do this. I don't think I knew when I went back to start coaching that actually becoming a coach is an entire career. Like,
yeah. You don't just learn how to talk to people. You have to learn.
Oh my God. It's a business. You have to learn social media and, there are so many parts to running your own business and being a coach that I did not know all that. You do not need to know all that when you step in. You step in and you learn as you go. Yeah. I'm still always evolving. I'm still always adding. And that's the beauty of being a coach, is that we're always in alignment. We're always, I train coaches to be coaches. And what I say to them is your life doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to wait till your life is perfect to be a coach, but you have to be in alignment with what you say you're going to do, because you can't hold other people if you can't hold yourself.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, you can start, you have to start somewhere, right? Whether it's that first certification or that first client, you don't have to have the whole staircase figured out, right? Because it will just keep expanding. If you're aligned, you're going to keep getting the opportunity to take that next step. But I think it's really important for coaches to not only become great at the art of coaching, but also if you want to do this and not just have it be a hobby, which costs you money, but you want it to be a business and a career, like you said, like there's so many more things that you get to learn, right? So in all these certifications that you've taken just in the art of coaching, I'm curious, where did your business savvy come from? Were you able to draw from what you knew at the gym? Or what were some of the steps you took when you realized I got a whole lot more to learn in the back door, the other side, the other of this coaching business?
Yeah.
Where did you go
It wasn't like the business. I mean, yes, I knew to become an LLC right away. And I knew, those kinds of things. I think all of the learning came more in how to make videos, how to do my social media, how to be on, Facebook, so those are the people I hired. I would take a course on Facebook ads. I would take a course on making my own videos. I would take a course on, like, now I'm looking for somebody who does TikTok and Reels, because I like to be fed. I don't want to go out there and knock my head against the wall. I want somebody who's an expert in it. Listen, I'm a coach. I believe in coaching. So I believe also in getting informed information and making my life easier by learning as much as I can learn. So, there are a lot of different parts to it as far as, managing my money and how much to put in and how much you need to make and all of that. That, you
wear a lot of hats.
You wear a lot of hats, and I've been around. So I have a lot of support if I had any questions, but I'm really good I'm good about money. I'm good about what I can spend, what I can't spend, monetizing things. And so.
Yeah, that's important. That's important because I see a lot of coaches, and I was this way in the first couple of years of my business as well, that is really on the dreamer train car, that has the big vision and the manifesting ideas, and I can meditate and get myself all aligned. And I'm kind of living in this dream world of all this money that I'm going to have one day, or that I am acting as if, and then, learning to connect the pragmatist train car to that one. So I don't just run off the rails and have, all of these like big ideas, but no like money management or these other things that you're talking about, to make sure that you're signed up for the long haul and you can take that whole journey. So where did you find that balance, right? In connecting the pragmatist side and making those investments and learning about how to manage the money? Or a better question is, what advice would you give someone who's looking to find that balance between, living in the vision and making it a reality?
Yeah, I am a big manifester. I believe in acting as if, but I am also very pragmatic. That's just me. I don't spend money I don't have, and I weigh things really carefully. So yes, you have to spend money. You have to be willing to put money into your business, but you have to be smart about it. I mean, that's part of it. But like I say to people sometimes, it's not like you can manifest all you want, but it's not like the pizza man is going to knock on your door and bring you the right partner or bring you the best business, or you have to do the work. So it's twofold. You have to manifest and act as if, and because that does change the energy and the flow and the universe, and you're supported by the universe, but you have to do the work, and you have to be smart about it. And you can't be poor. You can't get poor by trying to set your business up, knowing that somebody's going to knock on your door and it's all going to be there. It's a slow train. Your train is a slow moving train.
Yeah. And like you said, finding the experts and finding the people who can help you obtain the tools and learn the ropes is a huge part of manifestation, right? It's not ever in isolation and just sitting and praying for it. It's in taking those actions and making those connections. And along your journey, we're continuing with our train car metaphor here. At what point did you start to add passengers or add teammates to help you? Because I know with all these hats you're talking about, it's probably something that you get support with. So do you have a team, I guess, at this point in the game? And when do you recommend folks start thinking about delegating and hiring a team?
Yeah. I do have a team. I mean, it's a small team. I've had a Facebook ads guy who I love. His name is Joshua, and he's got a weird last name. But if anybody, you're going to have my information. If anybody's looking for a Facebook ad, I promise you, if you email me, I'll give you to you. I love him. And I use this other woman, Tracy, for the videos. Same thing. Right now, I can't remember anybody's last name, but email me, I'll give them to you. And I have a VA that I love. So the VA is like the big thing. And I still do most of my own social media, but like if I have a course, and I had a course creator. So I had somebody help me with writing my book. I had a book editor, and then I created courses, and I had course creators, so when you're making the next things, like when I first started out, writing a book was not even in my vision. It wasn't something I ever thought I was going to do. Mm-hmm. Things evolve as you get going, and branding yourself and adding things happen. And so like writing the book and getting a publisher and getting a publicist and all of those things, that was a huge, huge outlay in money. And you never make back what you put into a book. You do it for the branding. You do it because, for me personally, not everybody can afford one-on-one coaching. So the book is $18. I mean, most people can buy my book, and my book is a how-to. It's chapter by chapter exercises, centerings, manifesting. Like, it's a how to get out of autopilot and take that leap. It's a step-by-step, anybody can do it. And then I have an evergreen course. And then I made that into a Zoom 12-week course. I wanted everyone to be able to get this. But that whole dream wasn't even there. It evolves.
Yes.
So it evolves. And I know that there are a lot of coaches out there that will actually spend way more money than I'm spending because they want an even bigger game. They want, I'm way older than you are. Like, so for me personally, I'm already financially secure, and I love what I'm doing, and I want to give back, and I want to be big, and I want to be bigger, but I'm also
bigger, better, braver, right?
I want to be bigger, better, braver, but I also know that I've got a really balanced life. I'm a grandmother of 4. I'm a mother of 2. I spend a couple of hours every single day exercising. I live in Colorado. And so I have a very balanced personal life and business life. So it really depends on what your objective is. If you want to be really big and have a huge business, you're going to have to pour more money into it to get there. It's just the way it is. And a lot of times it's not how you do something, but who you get to help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. You can't do it all your own. You just can't, if you want to grow to a certain extent.
Yeah. There's a big mantra I've been using lately that is who, not how. Because I'm starting to get into places of my business like I'm not interested in, figuring out TikTok videos. I'm not interested in finding some of these things out or, taking a course to learn it myself. The how isn't as important as who can I get on my team to help me achieve the goals that I have. So that makes a lot of sense. And with the balance that you've achieved and, the ability that you have to give back, I'd love to shift gears now and talk a little bit about some of the coaching work, right? So what it really means to be that, bigger, better, braver version of yourself, and kind of dive into the content that you teach. So tell us a little bit about where your clients are at point A. They come to you and what do they need? And then help us kind of just understand the work that you do and the journey.
So it's really interesting. They tell you to niche down, niche down, niche down, but I can't tell you how different my clients are from each other. So my youngest client is 21 at the moment. My youngest client is 21. My oldest client is 83. I also have an 80-year-old client. And then I have a bunch of 21-year-old guys and a bunch of 20 and 30-year-old women who feel like life is passing them by. They don't have their partner. They're not passionate about their career. They feel like they're just not living the life that they want to live. Yeah. And then I have women and men in their 60s that are transforming. They want a new life. They don't, they need a change. Every single person, it's always the same thing. Yeah. I'm a shadow coach. I help them uncover the disempowering beliefs from their childhood that are keeping them small and keeping them making commitments to themselves that they're not aware of. And that's where we start. We dig down into that. And they have these amazing aha moments oh my God. And now I can see why I'm playing small, why that's happening. why I don't make myself a priority, or I don't think my needs, I'm deserving of having my needs met or my voice met, or why I think I have to stay small. These are all the things that I help them uncover. And then regardless of what they want to work on, we're working in tangent with getting there. They get there because they clean out all of that. Mm-hmm. They learn to stay in alignment with the promises that they're making to themselves. They learn to love themselves and trust themselves again. And then they can get, every week we're taking action. They're taking actionable steps that they must follow through with, or don't hire me. Don't hire me if you I don't want your money. You can't even stay my client if you don't follow through with what you say you're going to do each week. That's just a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, we've had several shadow coaches on the show, and it's so interesting to hear, they go into different niches, but you're right that we all have a childhood. We all have places in our life that we're not living to our fullest potential, or we're breaking agreements with ourselves. And I think it's the beauty of one-on-one coaching. And like you said, you have your set of goals. One-on-one coaching is its own set of work and scalable options and whatnot. But the beauty of one-on-one coaching, and what I often recommend to new coaches, is to start there, because you learn the most just one-on-one of what are those commonalities between people who might look really different but have really similar needs. And that's when you get to just make those action plans and make it individual.
Yeah.
So with shadow work, and I'm not sure how much you work with entrepreneurs, but I'd love to know if you found some common experiences, traumas, or beliefs that really hold people who have a big vision back, what those might be. So so listeners might start to get some insider clarity into their own inner child.
I do. It's really interesting. I work with, I have 3 female CEOs right now. And what comes down for them is that they feel like they're an imposter, and they feel that other people know more than they do, or that they have to seem like they know everything. Or they were brought up as little girls that they need to stay quiet. They shouldn't outshine. So they're in this position where they need to outshine. They need to show everyone their magnificence. And at the same time, they don't need to know everything. They don't need to pretend they know everything. We're right back to the who's and the hows. They don't need to know how to do everything.
Yeah.
So it all comes down for all of these women is being able to shine proudly, and being able to ask for help when they need it, to not needing to know everything. And when they uncover those beliefs that they're not worthy, or their voice doesn't matter, or they need to control everything to feel safe, these are all some of those beliefs.
Yeah.
Then they actually, and while you're uncovering those beliefs, you're making action steps. Okay, so you're going to go back this week, and you're going to tell your people. What are you going to tell your people? What are you going to ask for? How are you going to let them know this is what you need? How are you going to shine?
Yeah.
All of those things are, once you uncover the belief, you step by step make actions that are going to move you, propel you, so that you're no longer a victim to those beliefs, because those beliefs were made to keep you safe when you were a child, and they did keep you safe, but they're no longer keeping you safe. Now they keep you small.
Yeah. And like you said, just at every stage of the game, some of their beliefs served them to get them to that CEO status. Some of my beliefs served me to start my business, but they have to evolve and adapt for when you're running up against that same pattern. Like you said, I keep pointing my finger at everyone else, but it's pointing right back at me. What is that next layer I need to unpack? I've said this before, that we're just like onions. And it's the better you get, the riper you get, the more close to your core you get. It's another layer. You're just going to keep going through sifting and sorting your beliefs. So any immediate, I always like to ask if you'd recommend folks do one thing today that would help them get closer to their dream life, or perhaps, understand what's in their shadow a bit more, what's one action step they could take today to expand their journey?
Buy my book.
Sure. Yeah.
No. And the reason I say that is that shadow work, you have to work with a shadow coach, but you could buy a book like my book that does exercises to help you uncover those. Yes, you want to get down to what that belief is and what that underlying commitment is. So, for example, when I was 5 years old, I was playing with matches and I put myself on fire. And I didn't know it till I was 50 years old, but I had made a belief that I wasn't safe alone. Now, for a 5-year-old, that makes total sense. I wasn't safe alone. I put myself on fire.
Right.
For a grown woman who was now divorced and could have been much happier than I was and felt much safer than I did. Once I uncovered that belief, it was like that. It was over. I no longer wasn't so needy. I didn't think I had to fix that picture and I had to have a man again. And not that I don't have a partner, I do, but I come from wholeness. I don't have a need for those things. And so when you uncover the belief, but I couldn't have done that alone in a million years, that would never have happened. So you have to uncover those beliefs, and usually you need to have somebody help you do it.
Yeah. We talk about, or in corporate speak, they like to use the breaking the glass ceiling. And it always seemed to me like, women got to fight to the top, crush that, punch it out. Right. And what I'm realizing is that it's just all those layers, again, within ourselves that we keep running up against, because no one is holding you back from true love or the promotion, right? It's that thing you're running. It's your ceiling that
it's
you
your
run
own ceiling
or shadow, as you might say.
Yeah, it's your own ceiling. And so what happens is that when you say you want something, but you're not getting it, there's something you're more committed to. It's that underlying, it's in your subconscious. You might say you want a new career, but you're more committed to staying small. You're more committed to not sharing your voice. I mean, you have to figure, you may say you want to lose 10 pounds, but you're more committed to instant gratification.
Yeah.
Or food is how you satiate yourself. Food is love for you. So you say you want this, but you're finding yourself starting and ending diets 100 times. You have to uncover that underlying commitment. So it's no longer your first commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. And this all makes sense when we talk about priorities or value work, right? Coaches, we have all these tools, like you said at the beginning. But I truly believe that it's this inner work and really the shadow, I call it inner child work, that makes all those puzzle pieces fit together, because we go out and we get this tool and this certification and that thing, right? And if we don't believe we're going to do anything with it or we're good enough for it, then we're just back in that 5-year-old wound of, I need more. I'm going to set myself on fire if I do this alone. Right.
Right. We all have a wounded child, and then we have this adaptive child. It's the child who learned how to be okay with their wounds. But that adaptive child is the one that's getting triggered and making fights and, getting upset with other people. You've got to get past that adaptive child to your conscious adult mind. But it's very hard to do that without understanding what your wounds are, what your triggers are, becoming the observer instead of the reactor, so that you actually can make better choices and not be out there, upsetting yourself and people all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, the work is massive. So you mentioned your book. I'd love to know where people could pick that up and really continue this conversation with you. I know you've got lots of gifts, and we will add all the links to the show notes here. But where would you send people today to kind of take that?
You can go to, so if you're doing the one action step that you were going to do today, it would be go to Amazon and Amazon.com, Bigger, Better, Braver, Conquer Your Fears, Embrace Your Courage, and Transform Your Life. But I'm all over Instagram and Facebook, and my website is nancypickardlifecoach.com. And so like I have courses coming out. I have a 12-week course that I'm just taking a waiting list now. It's 12 weeks on Zoom. It comes with a workbook and 11 audio lessons. And then every week you get together with me with no more than 10 people, and maybe less, but up to 10 people. And we go deeper, and I laser coach with you, and you get to hear other people's issues, which are at the end of the day are pretty much all the same, right? So you're saying like, oh my God, I can't believe you think that way too. So do I. And so yeah, all of those.
Amazing. Yeah. NancyPickardLifeCoach.com. And we'll add all these links to the show notes. So if you're listening, just scroll down. It's all there. You can go find Nancy in all the places. Really appreciate you being here with us today and sharing so much of your wisdom. Listeners, I will be back next week with another inspiring guest that will help you make your dream life your real life. And don't forget to hop on over to dreamlifeisreallife.com/show for specific goodies that we talked about today and access to continue the conversation with these guests as well as myself. I cannot wait to see what you create. Until next time.